Bobsy here, no doubt. Back in the saddle. Headed back, first day back to work after the vacay. Still got them stitches back there, so I got to learn how to lean with my left hand and pick up some stuff. They say try to avoid bending over. I guess that's for any kind of other operations and stuff, busting your stitches, all that pressure put on them guts. You know what I'm saying? So I got to use my left hand. She put them stitches in there, man. I felt the tug in that skin. You know what I'm saying? I felt all that, you know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's a weird feeling, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, got me stitched up. I'm back in. Today is Tuesday. And you know what happened on Tuesdays? It's One Thing Tuesday recap. That's what it is, the mishmash. So I started the day out reading my Bible, first thing. I want that word to be first thing. Then I hit in my boy Creflo Dollar talking about relationships. But I read the 4th chapter of Ruth today, and Ruth was talking about there was Boaz redeeming the land, doing things in proper order in order to go ahead and marry Ruth, have a baby to continue the lineage, to continue the story. So I was listening I heard that story about Ruth that just hanging in on faith. With her mother-in-law going back to the home country. She said, look, I'm gonna hang with you. She said, look, ain't nobody here. Look, I'm poor. It's just us ladies. You're gonna be poor when you go back with me. Why don't you stay here? You young, go find you a husband. She said, nah, I'm hanging with you. That's what it said. The Lord wanted me to hang with you. So, and then it came up, right? That was the right thing to do. But here's the deal. When I got in on that Creflo was talking about relationship. That man is the head. The woman just says Jesus is the head of the church. It's not that man is the boss of woman, but that he's the head, the provider, and savior. That's the way he's supposed to treat that. So I thought that was interesting. He said the biggest thing is relationships. Having a relationship with God can help your relationships with other people. I dig that. I can understand that. And you know what? That goes right into tune with the One Thing recap. Because yesterday he had a lady on the show, and I'm going to put that in the notes too. Found a little thing on that, you know what I'm saying? But she was talking about, she had wrote a book, Multipliers. You can probably look it up. So she got a new book out, and this is called, I forget the name of this book, because I was, driving and trying to sneak it in. Yesterday, because I didn't go to work yesterday, so I had to listen to it somewhere else. So on my way back to and forth from the doctor. But she was talking about leaders either helping the situation or hurting the situation. Helping the employees or hurting the employees. Because one of the guys, when she wrote her book Multipliers, that leaders are supposed to be multiplying the employees. Everybody, when they get together, their effort's supposed to be their impact is supposed to be multiplied. She said that one of the guys, a couple of questions popped up, saying, you multiply anything by 0, you get 0. She said, what you saying, your folks ain't bringing nothing to the table? She said, I think that's kind of rude to say they ain't bringing nothing. But then she got to looking at it. Got to thinking about it. She said, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe some leaders. Maybe it's not that's him. Maybe it's the leaders. Do you think that, so she wrote this book, as a leader, do you think that you are helping or hurting? Because I work everybody work at a situation. Leaders everybody don't work the same. So the leaders they only got their one mode of operation. This is the way we do it. This is how we measure it. This way it's always been done. So, Let's go ahead and do it. But guess what? It ain't always like that. I had a guy that worked with me, and he had a way of doing things. And here was the deal. His way of doing things was getting the boss's results, but they didn't like the way he was doing it. It wasn't nothing, negative. Sometimes people have something a little bit negative. You don't want you cheating folks and stuff like that to get the win. But it wasn't. This guy, he was just an outside prospector. And then the boss wanted him to be an inside prospector. The boss wanted him to stay at the store because that's where so he can have coverage, and he wanted to go out. And that, that's a conflict. The boss gonna win, you know what I'm saying? Even though you putting up good numbers, all it takes is one time when the boss comes in and says, you know what, hey, I need some help. Hey, where is everybody? Oh, they gone, they outside prospecting. Say, man, look, I gotta have coverage. Now that everybody gotta come in and work in the store. So that's what she was kind of addressing in this book. Was hey, are you hindering the performance of them or helping the performance? And she said it runs in cycles, which we already know. We know that from one of my other books, The 4 Agreements. Always do your best. Your best gonna depend, it's gonna change from situation to situation. Yeah, this thing's shaking, man. You know what? But it's gonna shake today. We shaking today. Then I'm gonna lock it back down tomorrow, because I'm already recording. So we gotta shake this thing. To tell you the kind of roads we kind of go. So we're gonna tighten this up the next day, because I got this kind of like on a little swivel. I'll get one of them things like my son-in-law got, but then it'll cover my little thing up. But anyway, not to be distracted. I got distracted. So are we enabling, or hurting? And that's what we got to do. Look, and she was saying you need to look back. So me personally, since I'm not managing a whole bunch of people, the first thought, since it was Asking Mondays, I went on throw the question out there. Let me go ahead and ask the question. How can I apply this to my family? How can I get me and my family on one accord? How can I? See what I'm saying? So that's what's the question. Am I enabling or hurting when it comes to my family? Getting us locked in. That was the name of the game, see? So yeah. So I thought about that. So I'm going to be seeking on that on Wednesdays to dig them answers up, dig more evidence up. It's all about getting that evidence, getting that evidence to support your case. You see what I'm saying? So just recapping that, especially going over into the one thing, is that she was just talking about, hey, how I'm gonna help this person, become the best person that they can. And the way I do that is showing up to be the best person that I can, and also checking my ways as well too, to make sure my motives are clear and pure motives. So that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. I mean, that's the whole thing in a nutshell. Now, how am I going to apply that today when I go to work? Well, I have fellow employees, not fellow co-workers. So my thing is to provide value, and that value would include to my fellow co-workers. First, I'm gonna provide that value to my clients and to my boss, okay, for doing my job. And then I provide it to these other co-workers. That's what I'm gonna do while I'm at work. When I'm at work, I'm doing my best. And guess what? I told you yesterday, I'm gonna be in my time block probably 100% of the day. That's catching up where I left off 100% of the day. I'm not gonna be seeking the next new shiny object, because I know what's the one thing that I can do to make everything else I do easier, and that is catching up and following through with what I already have Listen to that, right? Because we into getting leads, right? New, fresh leads. And he said, hey, ain't nothing wrong with getting leads. But going back to the point, back to the widow's oil, a lot of the times we already have what we need to succeed. We already got it. And we already got enough of it. Like my boy Bob Proctor said, all the power is available all the time. All the knowledge, all the energy is available all the time. We just have to release it and tap into it and release it. That's what we got to do. Plain and simple. But, like I said, depending on what you're watching, what you're looking at, are you looking at the next person? Is comparison creeping in? What is it doing? Because if it is creeping in, then the next thing you know, because most jobs do, I live in a comparison world. We compare each other with the next guy in order to use that as a type of motivation, a contest, a show of feat and strength. Because that's what management know how to operate with. That's the mode of least resistance, or the regular way of doing things. I don't know what the term is for it, but that's how it's shaping up. So, but here's the deal: even though you in the world, you're not of the world. Even though that's the way they do things, and you know that it's coming, I don't have to take it personally. I don't have to buck against it, but I don't have to take it personally and make assumptions. See, because if I take it personally, then it's gonna mess my day up. Because who wants to get compared to the next guy? Some people do, because that's where they set it up. Some people are very competitive and comparative. They say it's competitiveness. I think it's comparativeness. They want to see what the next person doing, because that's how they judge their own performance and pretty much self-worth. A lot of folks do that. But anyway, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give them this time block. Quadrant 2. I'm on quadrant 2 on this thing. Maintenance quadrant. But right now, I'm going to be doing some urgent stuff today. Urgent and important. And then some not urgent and important. And then shy away from the important, but the urgent but not important. And then the not urgent and not important. Shy away from all that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it to it. Do it to life. You do it to life. Do it to your life. Take what you know how to do in one area and apply it to the new area. Now I'm going to put an outline up on the site so you see what I'm talking about. Peace out. Do it to it.